You are now listening to the Toxic Mentality Podcast. Don't be basic, be you.
All right. Thank you all for joining Toxic Mentality. So the purpose of Toxic Mentality is to provide an open and honest space for gathered Black friends to discuss societal and personal thoughts about things, to be able to share their personal and professional opinion in an open and honest manner with respect to the people that are listening, as well as respect to each other. We want to create conversations around general and hard topics that is kind of centered around Blackness in the community as well as the culture. And we also want to create a door to open and support, maintain growth of oneself through mental wellness. Also celebrate each other and all of our many different accomplishments of growth that we encounter throughout our lives when it comes to this podcast. So welcome to Toxic Mentality, everybody.
Make sure you guys actually follow us on our different social media platforms. We're actually on Facebook, Toxic Mentality. Instagram is toxic_mentality_podcast. You can also follow us individually. My name is Loretta, but you can catch me at STL Arch, ARCH, Angel.
And my name is Marcus. You can catch me at Mystical Obsession on Instagram. That's Mystical Obsession with a Y and a K. So in case you need regular spelling, but hit me up.
And I go by Dre. You can hit me on Instagram at Dre_Rich88. I'm not spelling nothing. You should be able to do that.
Just rude.
All right. Let's go ahead and get down to it then. So let's talk besties.
Besties.
Okay, besties.
So we are a group of friends. We have known each other for
over 5 years.
Over 5 years.
That don't seem like it, though.
At all. So we've seen each other in highs and lows. We've seen the way we raise kids, our marriages, relationship struggles, and everything.
Well, y'all didn't see how I raised my kids.
Not yet. So the basic question today is, can a male and female have a platonic relationship? Can a young Black man and a young queer man be friends? And what is the relationship with the friendship between queer men and Black women?
Oh, that's cute. Well, I'm going to let y'all talk about the male and females from straight point of view. I think that's interesting.
Well, go ahead. Start it off.
Goodness, here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, so I truly believe that there can be a platonic relationship between males and females.
Yeah.
I also believe that sometimes there is a little bit of, if she would let me hit it, I will do it. I mean, not necessarily saying that's what's going on between us, because that ain't that.
Yeah. Certain people are listening.
Certain people, you know what I'm saying? Certain people, you know what I mean? Like, that is that situation. Like, I know men who
I've been
become
in that
their
situation
friend because they can't get no ass. Like,
that's simp role. Unfortunately, I played that role.
You played that role.
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. So how was that? How did that end up? Did you all become friends?
Real friends, like true friends.
Hell no. I got the draws, though.
See? This is what we're talking about. And see, this is why society has so much back and forth between when you're in a relationship and your significant other be like, nah, you can't be hanging out with that.
This is true.
This is true. Y'all ain't no friends. Stop calling that dude bro. Like, that dude want to smash. Like, this is the reason why we have so much.
But I think a part of that also is the amount of trust that you have with your partner, too. Not saying that, everybody come into relationships trusting, but it is a part of trust that you have. So let's say you've been in a lot of relationships where people have damaged your trust. So therefore, if you are trying to have friends, then it will be kind of hard. Like, why you need all those friends? Or as a girl, well, why you need all those homegirls? I don't understand why you need all those homegirls. As a guy, why you need all those dudes around you? So it's like that trust piece that you don't have. You're going to be insecure about that. That's what I think.
So is it more of a situation where this is trauma-based?
I think so.
The thing behind it is
past
trauma.
bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can't be friends with somebody because a man did something to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's explain what trauma is to everybody. So trauma is more so just like something that happened to you. It's a part of you that a negative event that happened to you, right? So that's what trauma is. So just so everybody can kind of be clear about that, because we might have some people that's watching and don't know what trauma means. So we just want to make sure that we're being clear about that.
So,
Did the lights go out?
I think we didn't pay our light bill. But it's okay. We're going to keep this show rolling.
We had to
That's
keep
why
it going,
we gotta
man.
go with the
Professionalism.
ring light. We're going to keep it moving. But in regards to that, though, like, how do you move past that? Like, at what point do you say, I cannot base this new situation on my past situations? And at what point do you let that go and start the growth process?
Shit, after you go through therapy or some shit. Like, it's hard for me to trust. So, like, you have to show me through your actions that I can trust you.
I agree.
Because if I can't come to you with anything, it's a problem.
I mean, that's the basis of what most relationships should be based off of. But at this point, do we have that? How many relationships do you guys see, regardless of friendships or not, or romantic relationships, where you actually genuinely can trust that person?
I don't know, but I think that goes into one of our questions. So I think we should say that.
We're going to say
We're
that.
gonna say that. Because
Okay.
I think, well, going back to just platonic male and female relationship, I mean, even as a queer guy, whatever the case we want to call it, gay, queer, whatever you want to call it, I think that when it comes to, like, even as a male being a friend with a female, it is easier. But I think that also even men, like, as a gay man, well, I think that's kind of waiting on too. But I've seen where men, even though I'm queer, they'll be like, well, what you hanging around him for? You know, like, as a female. And I'm like, okay. Like, or like one time, I'll never forget one of our coworkers, I ain't gonna say who. But she was like having a conversation with me in the office, and her husband called, and he immediately was like, who is in the office with you? And I was like, uh-oh. And my first initial thought was like, she finna get in trouble, like something like that. Because, again, about how people take platonic relationships. Like, it's always sexualized.
But it shouldn't be. I feel like with males and females, we are both in our friendships and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We offer each other something. And I feel like with a male and female relationship, as a female, I can give you that nurturing side, but I'm also like a sister to you. So I'm going to give it to you rough and hard, but I'm still be nurturing at the same time.
Yeah, because we hate each other.
Used to hate each other.
Yeah, used to. It was,
Still
Now
cussing
that's
out.
the tea.
Still cussing out on the daily, though, so don't get it twisted. He still gets his hands on the daily. But even then, like, as from, you know, the female and male platonic relationship, I feel like as a male, you give me more of an honesty or more of a male outlook on situations, so I can take that back, where your female friends are really going to be like, girl, yeah, that was right, F that. Whereas a male, you really gonna sit me down and be like, hey, L, like, come on now. You was a little wild for that. Or, you know, it's more of an honesty and more of a check for myself. And I think, you know, when you get to a certain age and you get to a certain stage in your life, that's what you need. You need somebody who's going to check you. You need somebody who's going to help you elevate to the next level. So regardless what the sexual preference or sex of the individual is, what can they give you in their relationship? And that's what we need to start thinking about as adults. What can you, not only like you asking these dudes, what can your females, what can you bring to your table? You need to ask your friends that. What do you bring to the table?
Like, why do I tell people in a heartbeat, like, I kind of got this thing. I think that's why, because I feel like even when getting to know somebody, I almost put them in a different category as becoming a friend. And some people are like, let's be friends. Like, And I immediately be like, well, I already got a lot of friends. Like, and it's so, but people I've tried to get to know that I do that too, they be like, damn, that's rude. Like, you know, because you not used to somebody thinking automatically, well, I'm not even putting you in that category. But I've heard also so many times people say, well, you need to be friends with your significant other. So it's kind of like that mix and match thing where it's like, okay, well, do you allow all these new people in your life as friends, quote unquote, but what are you offering me that I don't have from somebody
energy.
else? Yes.
Protect your energy. Like, you cannot pull yourself thin regardless if it's romantic or friendship.
Protect your
you have
vibe.
to protect
your vibe.
energy.
Hashtag protect your vibe. That's cute. That's
what we
cute.
not gonna do is have all these people running in and out.
Because, like, as a person in general, you have that certain sector of group of friends, but also everybody plays a certain role.
Everybody plays
and
a
if they go
role.
against that role, it kind of makes you mad because it's like, wait a minute, that was your role.
We've all been out together.
Even if it was a toxic role.
Right. We all been out together. And we know we all have a role to play when we out.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
real.
Because I'm going to be the one always snapping on this man's outfit.
Yes. He always trying to
bring the
flame.
You cannot see it, but
He always trying to flame.
this man has leopard
But see, you
pants
know
and
what?
Michael Jackson slippers on.
What
That's
you not
right.
gonna
Like,
do?
But that's
So
They
what
got
you not
rhyme-
gonna
I'm
do?
glad you went there because let's talk about that. Queer men and black men friendships.
All right.
Like, let's really talk about that. Why do you feel, okay, how about this? When you first met me, did you think that we would ever become this close?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think so. That's just going off and not knowing. But once we started talking and snapping on each other,
So
that was a connection right there.
So were you afraid to have the
No.
conversations and?
Oh, not at all. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? I hate saying it like this because I sound like a white person, but I have gay friends. So before I met you, so
That is one of the main things that I think a lot of black men have a problem with, is even having a conversation
see, I
with
don't-
a queer black man.
But
I don't
is
have no problem
it
with
the black man himself, or is it the community, or the thought of what everybody else is going to think of that relationship?
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
yeah.
Because that's
You know what
why
I'm
it took me so long to be friends with gay people. Because like I said, if I would have met you in high school, college, ain't no way. But it's kind of like you think it's a stigma or something. Like you around a gay dude, so you gay. Or people gonna think you gay. So it's like, yeah, all right, nice, keep your distance.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Growing up,
Until
I
you-
really had that problem. Like, I really had where people in my hometown literally would call a straight dude gay because we was friends. And so because of that, I didn't have a lot of straight black men friends. Like, and that was my whole hometown, just black, everybody black, except for a couple white people. But that was a real big issue, like really was. And so I even had parents tell their kids not to be around me.
Oh, dang.
So it was where I couldn't be friends with you at school. I couldn't be friends with you in the town, in the community, because people assumed certain things. And so I think that really is one of the biggest elephants in the room when it comes to the black community, is like two black males just being friends with each other.
Right.
Like, that is really big in the gay in the black community because of the association again with sex. Like, it automatically goes to, oh, well, y'all having sex. A lot of straight men think that we come on to all of y'all.
Right.
So
And let's get that clear.
would that be saying like there is that stigma or that mentality that gay men or gay individuals, queer, are hypersexual?
Yes. That is one thing. I don't know why black people think we just out here hoeing as the gay community. Is that? But why? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Go
Really.
ahead.
I mean, you be in the streets, man. You be in these streets.
What we not gonna do?
Well, we not going. But okay, now so as one from a straight man to a gay man, and we do talk about personal stuff. I have been in the streets in the past years or so, but that doesn't mean that it's associated with me being a hoe. Like, but at the same time, that truly is the association that all gay men are hoes. And that every gay man wants the straight man that they encounter. And that's not true, because just like straight people, we have types. So I can be friends with a person. It's just like in the gay community. I can be friends with somebody that's just not my type. So it's the same way when it comes to black men. They associated that, oh, I'm talking to you because I think you're cute. Like as if a woman. Oh, right. You know what I'm saying? Like if a man going after a woman, he's talking to her because he thinks she's cute. So it's associated with the gay community. Like, oh, he talking to me because he must like me in some type of way. And really, in actuality, I could just be having a conversation with you.
But see, I don't know. I've always thought, and this is like my thought process and my toxic mentality, is that I always thought that gay people had like the most stable relationships. You know what I mean?
Girl, bye.
Like you know, like we seen you watching HBO Cinemax as a kid and shit, and you always see the older gay white man with the younger gay white man, and they've been together for like 15 years with a little Yorkie named Fufu. Like, I'm just saying, like I always thought that's what it was, and then like you know you become experienced, and I think it's as time has come and gone by, and we become more accepting of differences.
Yeah.
And we become more aware of what's going on and educated on different subjects. That has expanded and made us be able to have these type of relationships.
But at the same time, it's not happening though, because you have to think about people like, I don't want to shade people, but we have celebrities that are openly homophobic. And then you have celebrities now like Lil Nas, who I will say, who is openly queer, and it's still an issue. Like, if for hardcore black men, it is still that issue of, well, why he wearing that? Why he dressing like that? I don't want my kids to watch his videos. You know, like, just because of the fact that he is openly queer, right? And then you turn around and see these same celebrities with their children possibly being queer. So it's like, how much have we really moved? You know, how much have we really opened up the door to say, as two black men, think about, like, let's go back to like really doing Black Lives Matter campaign, where you actually had black men not liking each other still within the campaign because of their sexuality. Or black men be like, well, I'm not going to go to his particular well, not sit in, but his particular event because, it's going to be all them gays there. You get what I'm saying? So how much have we really moved on from that taboo of black men being gay and thinking that everybody's not straight? But I think we could be friends. That's what people don't realize. I think that we could be friends. And I think that the issue is that so one guy told me that the reason why he can be friends with a gay man is because he knows his sexual identity.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that.
He was like, strong. I know I'm never going to mess with, like, I'm never going to be with a dude. I don't want to have sex with a dude. I'm not interested with a dude. So me being friends or associated with you in any manner is not going to hurt me. And no matter how people judge me, I don't care. Like, I don't want to be with you. You don't want to be with me. So we cool. So I think that to me, that hit me like, well, that's really it. Like, if you're comfortable in your sexuality, being cool with me should never be an issue. So to straight men, just know every gay man don't want you. Please understand that, okay? If your baby mama don't want you, there's a strong possibility that a gay man probably don't want you either.
Okay,
but now let's talk about this, because let me tell you, my girl over here, Miss Retta, black men, black, gay, queer, whatever you identify as, men and women and black women.
What is the thing with it?
Cause y'all ninjas ain't ish.
Ain't nothing. And I really do feel like gay black men and black women, a lot of the struggles we go through with dating struggles are the same. We still dealing with these ancient niggas. We still dealing with, men who perceive themselves to be one way or leading you on, and the dating scene is just trash.
St.
And
Louis,
it's
your
just-
dating scene is trash.
it's
No
trash.
shade. I love the Cardinals down. I don't go to the games, but I love the Cardinals down. And your emos piece is not that great. But
You ain't say nothing about the rice,
I'm
though.
just
You ain't say
playing.
nothing about the
No,
rice.
I love
though.
y'all rice. I ain't gonna lie, that rice fire. But no, I'm just playing. I love St. Louis. I've been here almost 8 years now. But no, the dating scene here is trash.
And it's kind of like, at the point, like I've said this before, because I attract I attract great men. Like, we all have a toxic trait, and my toxic trait is ghosting people, and I do apologize. And it has nothing to do with them. It is me, and it's something that I am working on.
Yes,
I
speak
am
your truth,
self-awareness.
I
sister.
am becoming
Self-awareness.
better.
Speak your
Self-awareness,
truth.
like, I'm getting my life together. I promise y'all I'm going to be pregnant next year by somebody that
Oh,
I'm going to
damn.
get it together.
Somebody
Okay,
daddy.
pregnancy.
Somebody daddy.
Yeah.
I like them
Hey.
older.
I speak pregnancy into your
We
life.
gonna get it. But
And I think that kind of is going along with the whole queer men and black women thing. Like, the idea of so many truths being equaled. Like, with us, we have so many conversations about men in general that everything is so similar to where it becomes easy to have conversations with a woman. Like, and I think the same thing would be for black men and probably lesbian women. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, I would say more masculine lesbian women or trans men. You know what I'm saying? Like, those conversations will be easy for you all, because that's why you see a lot of quote unquote studs, quote unquote. I hate studs. That's a word though. But that's why you see them hanging out more with more masculine men, or they one of the guys in a friendship. Like, it's the same way. Like, we kind of associate ourselves with the people that we have those similarities to.
Well, that is true. That is very much true, because I think, like I said earlier, the same way that a straight man can give me the male perspective,
Right.
that I still can get that male perspective from a gay man also.
True, because I'm still,
You still a man.
I'm
At
still
the
a
end of the day, you're
man,
still a
born
man.
man.
Right.
Depending on what day you catch me. But
And how much liquor?
this is very
But
true.
it's still that, like, you can give me a man's perspective, because y'all know I'm clueless when it comes to male emotions and all that. No matter how much experience we all have in mental health, medicine, or whatever, I am still very much clueless. So a man could have told me that he loved me without saying those actual words, and I could talk to Marcus or Dre and be like, man, but X, Y, and Z. And they like,
Nah.
bruh.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get your life together. Like, this man really does. I'm like, oh, that's what that meant.
I think as a guy, even as a gay man, like, we can still identify with our masculine part, no matter how, feminine or whatever the case may be. I can still identify with, yeah, he's being a man, Loretta, like that, because I still have that part of me, or that piece of me.
Man, you a man. At
Right,
the end of the day,
right.
regardless, you
Yeah,
a man.
so I have that understanding. So that's why it's easier for that piece to happen and open up. Versus if I'm having a conversation with Dre, then it may be a little different. Like, well, Dre, that she's being a woman. Like, and I can identify with that piece as well. Right. So it's like that's kind of the
That goes the
significance
same
of
with
it.
me and her, though. You know what I'm saying? If I got problems, I bounce it off her. She'll be like, yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
Like,
It's
straight
just-
up. You
I mean,
fucked
no
up.
matter what gender identity you go under, for real, it's really about that conversation and that comfort that you have
Yeah.
with somebody.
Yeah.
For real.
So this is definitely a topic that I want to see the viewers' actually opinions in the comments. So,
Yes.
like, what do you guys think about male and female relationships? Can they be platonic? Can you guys
In
have
general,
a
yeah.
real friendship with someone of the opposite sex and nothing ever comes from that? Can you be friends with your gay homie? Like, can you actually have a gay homie, and can a straight man and a gay man actually be friends? Like, what are your guys' thoughts in regards to that?
Yeah, that's a good one. I want to see some stuff. So definitely let us know. We'll be definitely watching or looking at the comment section so we can put this stuff out here because we definitely want to ask questions to the viewers as well. We want this to be that type of podcast where you can ask questions too. And we'll try to sometimes even bring those questions into our podcast. So not only that, but answer these questions that we're asking you all so we can kind of support your answers as well and talk about them.
All right.
So now we're going to talk about pay some bills.
We're going to pay some bills.
This podcast is in affiliation with Buzzsprout. Let's get your podcast launched, and you can start for free. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed on all the major platforms like Apple, Spotify, Google, and more within a matter of minutes. Podcasting isn't hard if you have a good team behind you. So sign up and see why over 100,000 people already use Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. And if you follow the link in the show notes, it lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you, and you also get a $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for one of their paid plans. And it helps support the show. So sign up for Buzzsprout, and let's create something great together. Now, back to the show.
So how toxic are you? Y'all know the show is called Toxic Mentality.
Yeah.
And everybody got that little sprinkle. We all got something.
I don't think I'm toxic, though.
Boy, you know you a fool lie.
Now, I thought we was finna come on here and be honest.
Right,
I'm not.
right.
How am I toxic? How?
What?
No.
Ma'am, Miss Ma'am, can you call in? Miss Ma'am.
We need our tool. We need our tool for the voice interview. No. Okay, Dre. When you really sit back and think about life in general, how toxic are you, Dre?
Yo, I don't know how much I can get into this.
Well, be politically and professionally correct.
All right. Most toxic thing. I was talking to this girl. We broke up, so I hooked up with her sister in revenge. Yo,
that's toxic.
Yo, I ain't gonna front.
Okay. So you have been in a position where you have...
You wasn't expecting that?
You have decided
Where you think I was... Hold up. Where you think I was going?
Sips water. Okay.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
But I don't... You know what? I mean, it happens all the time, though, for me.
Is that toxic?
Yes, that's toxic. I mean...
I apologize.
Why would... Well, it's one of them... Now.
I take the nut back. Like, how do you get into that? Like, what? I'm sorry, I take my nut back. Like, what?
That's a man right there. See,
I'm saying I apologize because one of them followed this page.
See, that's too much. But how many
Make sure you click that Buzzsprout link, please.
How many times have we all heard men have that same story, though? Where they hooked up with the sister, the cousin, the best friend.
But it's a revenge tactic,
That
though,
is
right?
a revenge tactic.
I was in my feelings. So
it was revenge.
That was revenge.
So that's still toxic.
He was acting like
I was acting like that. That was very Drake of me.
It was very Drake-ish. You know what I'm saying? Marvin's Room. Like, come on.
That's why he loved Drake. But no, I think that is very toxic, Drake. I mean, the reason why it's toxic for somebody else is because who's to say you won't do it to them? Would
I do it again? Maybe. But I would think twice about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm weak.
Okay. What about you, boo? How toxic are you?
I realized I am toxic because I was like Dre at one point. I was like, I don't do nothing. Like, I don't think it's me. And I realized that I am toxic as hell. Like, I realized I like arguing. Like today I was even sitting back and was thinking about my little friend, and I was like, I just miss arguing with him. Like, I miss the arguments. And so I realized, like, Marcus, that is so toxic for you to miss arguing with somebody. And I love, like, for instance, I love, not to say putting my hands on men, but I love this idea of like being slap happy with my partner. Like, if they do something silly where I can like push their head a little bit.
Domestic. I will see you in the emergency room.
I'm walking away from this conversation.
I'm not saying that I'm into domestic violence. I do not support domestic violence.
Dre does not condone these comments.
I
the
do not
comments
support
or the
but
thoughts
what
of
I'm
Marcus
saying
and Marcus
is,
alone?
no, it's not domestic violence. It's being friendly. Like if I do this to you,
Touching on me.
you know what I'm saying?
Police.
But if I do that to you, that's not being domestic. It's me being playful. So playfully, I'll do like a nudge or something like that. Not saying that I'm into domestic violence. It's like I just like that piece of like I'm poking you. You know what I'm saying?
So is it more the intimacy, like of the touching? You are more of a toucher, would you say?
I actually don't, I'm not. That's the funny part about it. So I'm not really a toucher. I only do it when it's like a little moment. And then I'm like over it. Then I'm
What
like,
kind of, hold on. What kind of moment? Oh, okay. I was just making sure I heard that, right? Okay.
I guess I can say that's my feminine moment. But I'm like, get out of my face. Like something like that. But other than that, don't touch me.
Oh.
Like that's why I'm toxic, because I want to be intimate with you, but at the same time I don't want to be intimate with you. So it like,
Nigga, you weird.
I don't feel like I'm the only one in the world though. I am. Okay.
No, I mean I don't
know,
Don't
man.
put your hands on me. I don't know.
No, not saying put my hands on you. What I mean by that is like the
I understand,
intimacy
like the-
piece. Yeah. Like for instance, that is intimacy, but it's weird for me to be like it's weird for me. So in order for me to do it, it's playfully. Like
Okay.
I'll be like
So you're not like comfortable
with
with
doing
a straight.
like, oh,
But
yeah.
that's what you
like,
want to do. Is it? But that's a good thing though, because you have to start thinking about.
So you telling
Is it
me you
more of
able
a
to
middle
just
thing?
so
It's
I
not
got a
my
question.
conversation.
Do you like it is your conversation. So are you able to lay on the couch with your wife and hug up?
Yeah, of course.
I hate it.
Oh, okay.
Like
Is it uncomfortable?
I just like for instance, I could really like you and we'll be sitting on two different couches.
My question to you is this though, because we talked about trauma. Is this a trauma response for you? Because you think about it, when you were growing up and you had to deal with your sexuality and there was something that you could not express.
True,
openly,
very much so.
Is it something that you're carrying on to your adult life where you can't express that now?
I have thought about that. And I think that, and that's one reason why I'm having this battle between dating discreet and down low men versus dating a gay man. Because when a gay man, they're open about their sexuality and their affection. And I'll be with a gay man. Like I'll see my friends, they two openly gay men and they be hugged up and I'll be like, ooh, the homosexuality. Like but everybody know me for doing that. But it is a piece of me that's like, I'm not used to that. Like I grew up not being able to show. Like I never could have had a boyfriend in high school. Ever. Like I wouldn't do it. Like for instance, I watch people go to prom, and I used to have to watch people go to prom because I couldn't take nobody with me because I'm not gonna. The only thing as a gay man you could do is take your home girl. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody knew that wasn't your girlfriend, so you just took her. But everybody then you go to prom and then your night is over while everybody else going to the hotels, like that really was my life. Like I had to sit back and watch people enjoy their romance and enjoy their love. And yet maybe late at around 1 or 2 in the morning, I may have been with one of those men. But unfortunately, I had to watch it happen versus be a part of it. So now in my adult life, that is kind of how I am. Like I date discreet DL men a lot of times, but it's also because we have this bonding of we're beneath ground kind of thing.
So
like
it's the excitement behind it.
I have noticed that I have a thrill for the excitement of being caught. But that's for a different episode.
That is definitely because, baby, this can get deep. That was about to, I had a whole bunch of questions.
Hold up.
But yeah,
Your
so
turn.
how
Mind
toxic
your
are
business.
you, Loretta?
Oh,
Your
y'all,
turn.
Because I know your tea.
Okay, so I'm just I'm only 4'11", so I can't be that toxic no way because I ain't that big. But
Girl, bye.
I said it earlier though. I am a ghoster, and I know where my trauma stems from. I've done a lot of trauma work. I'm a very spiritual person. So I do think about and try to get beyond that, and I have done some of the work for that. It's a whole healing process, and I encourage anyone to actually start looking at your faults and start doing your work that you need to do to make sure
Stop
that
blaming everybody for your stuff.
you can move forward, because regardless of if your mama caused the trauma, your daddy, or whoever, you can heal from that. And you have to heal in order for us to make sure our children don't go through the same things and have the same issues that we have. But I am a ghoster, and my ghosting is never from a part of maliciousness, because if I don't like you, I'm gonna just tell your ass I don't like you.
That's real.
And we can move forward. But I do tend to ghost men that I actually care about. It's the men that I actually can see myself with, could see that happiness with, and I get scared. And because I get scared, I will vamp. Now, don't get me wrong, I might pop back up in like 6 months or so. But hopefully you ain't blocked me by that time, because I played too much. But it is a situation where, I've had a lot of things going on, education-wise, and, furthering my career, and that did take the front seat. So a lot of time I did ghost people because of that. But if I didn't feel like I could give you the time that you deserved, even though I craved you as an individual, I craved your energy, your attention, your love, I wasn't able to.
You couldn't communicate that.
I felt like commit.
No, I'm definitely with Dre. I couldn't communicate that. I didn't know how to. I didn't know. It was such the thought of, is he going to reject me?
So you'd rather leave before being rejected?
I would rather leave before being rejected.
Oh, that's deep.
And so the whole point of me coming back like later, and the fact of you accepting me or not accepting me, that was kind of like my little, he didn't reject me.
Validation.
That's deep, Retta.
I know.
That was cute.
We're working on it though.
But I mean, how many times do you? I mean, for real though, because I know. Well, I've heard, because I guess I can say. Well,
why are you looking at me?
I know, because this really goes into a masculine portion of this. Like, as a man, how many times do you want to be rejected too? You know what I'm saying? Because I heard, and the reason why I say I heard with men, because I'm thinking about a straight aspect now. So I heard from a lot of straight men, like they don't like to be rejected. You know what I'm saying?
No one likes to be rejected.
Well, yeah, nobody wants to be rejected. But for men, I feel like it crushed their ego a little more.
That. My ego's too big. I don't give a fuck. I'm shooting my shot.
Shout out to BSA.
I'm shooting my shot. If that DM go on red, that's all right.
You don't know. You don't know unless you shoot that shot. So I'm with it.
That was a long time ago.
I had to learn how to shoot my shot, because I definitely was not a shot shooter. I was not into that. I wanted to be like, I felt like the woman who the man's supposed to show up to me. Like, you know how when you see them movies on Lifetime and the woman just sitting up there doing laundry and the man walk up to her and say, beautiful. Like, that, Disney messed me up.
They be baking cookies on Monday, and by next Thursday they make it. I'm like, what happened?
I'm like, God, you did it.
I be baking cookies every day. Ain't nobody showed up yet.
You did it for Linda in Lifetime.
Stupid.
But for real though, I know as a man, I just hear men more that's like, bro, I ain't gonna never talk to her again, or they get upset about it, being rejected. So as somebody who ghosts people.
But I think a part of that too is if you used to mess with the person before, and then you coming back around.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, you like, damn, you already gave me the pussy. I mean, answer this text though. Answer that motherfucker.
Like, why you acting weird?
Okay. What they say? Why you doing this thing? That is real though. I feel like that's a real thing though. Like the rejection piece. Because, like, if you never want to be rejected, though, you'll never know who likes you in return. Right. And that's what I had to learn.
You may surprise yourself.
Yeah, I had to learn that people, like, if you don't throw yourself out there, you'll never know who really had an opportunity to get to know you.
Exactly.
But ghosting them at the same time, like, that's that rejection piece.
It is.
That is.
Again, like I said, that spiritual work thing.
I realized that I might have an issue with that. Because I was recently, like, I met somebody online and we started conversing, But I realized, I was like, I don't know if I'm really ready for that piece. Because, like, he would call and he was like, FaceTime me. And I'll be watching TV and I'm like, why? Like, but...
Not why.
So, but at the same time, that's why I'm like, maybe that's a piece. So you do have to be real with yourself, too, when you are single or whatever the case may be, or in a relationship, whatever the case may be. You have to be real with yourself, too. And I think that that's what I'm learning during this singleness process is like, how much of myself or how much of my peace am I really ready for a relationship? Like, how much of myself am I really ready to give away? Especially like we talked about when you've been single for so long, it's almost like going back into that flow of like,
Right. You get a
I have to
routine.
incorporate somebody into my life. Oh, this person finna call me today. Like, oh, let me text them. Like, you don't think about
You
these
have to make
things.
that whole, like, this is what's going to happen. So, we got to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, we want to hear from you guys. How toxic are you? And what is the most toxic thing that you have ever done? I cannot wait
What is
to
the most
see.
toxic thing we've ever done? Dre gave his, so Loretta. Well, besides, you said ghosting.
You better not say what I think
my
you
bad.
gonna say.
My bad. I know your business too. You know what I'm saying? I know. I'm just saying.
So what is the most toxic thing that we have all done?
I'm about to be a licensed professional. I don't think I wanted to say mine on.
Well, you could give a light one.
Oh, I tried to drown my baby daddy while he was asleep one day. I really wasn't trying to drown him. I just poured water on his face while he was asleep.
That is drowning. That's waking up.
That is an aspiration risk. So please don't do that to people in real life.
That's waking them up. Like
No.
Good Morning America.
No. That's one of those things. But like, I don't hit a woman, but I'm shaking the shit out of her.
I'm weak.
Dog.
Yeah.
Don't dump no. Well,
But, you know,
it's
that's
good it
my
wasn't
whole-
hot water.
But the
Yes,
thing about
that's
it
why I
is,
think
you know
of
what
it
I'm
just
saying?
waking
Like,
somebody up.
that was my first and last time of ever learning. Do not go through nobody's phone because I couldn't eat for 2 weeks after that. So, like,
Yes.
Do not go
Never
through
go
people's
through
phones.
nobody's phone. Oh my! Unless they don't do nothing.
what about you, Marcus?
Because then that kind of makes me happy if I go through the phone and they didn't do nothing.
Boy, what
Okay,
about you?
I would really, to me though, my most toxic thing for real was the way I used to I used to manipulate situations in order to see how close of a person you really were to me.
What you mean?
So even with friends, I used to have a thing with my issue of trust. I never really trusted you. It didn't matter how close you were to me. And so I used to like see how really truly you were close to me. So I would ask you a question and I would know the answer and it would tell me whether or not you lied to me. And so my friends had got to a point where they got used to me doing, like they even used to make
treating
fun
them
of
like kids, you know that,
I
right?
was. I'm sorry. But what broke it was my friends we call ourselves the Conway crew. Shout out to all my Conway friends. But they used to actually make fun of me about how I have selective hearing. So I can be in a room and be listening to a conversation that I really want to listen to versus somebody that's talking to me. And so my friends would literally act like they're talking about me just so I can overhear their conversation. And then they'll bust out laughing like, told you he was listening. Like, that's how bad it had become. But it was because, like, my trust. Like, I really didn't trust somebody to authentically care about me like that. And so I always wanted to know, like, do you really, like, care about me? Or are you, like, trying to fake my friendship? So that's how it was very toxic.
So I got a question.
And again, why are you looking at why?
Because this would be a question your ass should be asking too. Have you ever did that to us? What is we doing?
No.
I ain't
So
worried about
I will.
it.
In all honesty, no. That group of friends really taught me how, like, if we're friends, we're friends. Like, we have to, like, you're gonna go through stuff together. You're gonna have arguments. You're gonna have disappointments with each other. You know what I'm saying? So it taught me that you can authentically be friends with people. Now, moving to St. Louis, I ain't gonna lie. I was told beforehand when I got up here, they was like, listen, there's some rough people you going to meet. And I was scared.
Just stay out the
Like,
place.
one of my best friends, I've been knowing her her since I've been here, Angie. I've been knowing her for almost probably like the 6-7 years out of the years I've been here. But she met me at a grocery store. And I was afraid. Like, I was so scared when she invited me to her house.
I could see Marcus with a little basket like, ma'am.
I was. And I went over there. I was dressed up like a whole thug. I was like, in case anything pop off, you know. And even before her, when I was like, people invite me to their house, I was so scared. Because, again, I didn't know where I was. I was in a comfortable environment. So, again, it went back to those days of selective hearing. Like, what they're over there talking about. They finna set me up. Like, that was my thought process, even though people was just trying to be cool with me. But I was so, I literally would have anxiety going to meet new people when I first moved here. Like, I would have anxiety about it. But, but now, like, since I've been here and over time, I got out of that mode of, like, trying to test people and manipulate situations and all of that stuff to see whether or not you really are a true friend.
So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to hit it up with a chop it up question of the day. So you guys will see us do this last little segment for every episode. It's going to be like a basic question that we come up with. It's going to be a 2-minute or less answer. So it's not going to be anything super in-depth because the whole show is pretty much in-depth with what we're doing. But,
right.
The chop it up question of the day is, how open is too open in a relationship of any kind?
So I think this question really gears around, like, how much are you willing to offer, whether it be of yourself or your life or your past experiences, like, to somebody. Like, because I know, even with my friends, I've realized I don't tell them everything. Like, but at the same time, we as people always ask for people to tell us everything. Like,
you really don't expect it, though. Like, come on. You can't expect that.
But how many times have people been like, we vicariously living through you? Right. I don't know. To me, I can only think relationship-wise. But I guess, like, romantic relationship-wise, I guess I'm like, too open is open. I'm not sharing. I don't share. I was a kid and I have to share my toys. I'll be damned if I share. But yeah, for me, I feel like whatever relationship that we are in, either romantic or a friendship, I should be able to come to you and talk to you about any and everything, regardless.
I'm ready to.
Without any repercussions.
True. Yeah.
Without any judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that we definitely need to work on as individuals ourselves. Trey?
Being married, just like you said, you got to come to them with everything. It's like nothing is off the table. I can be vulnerable with you, like you said, with no repercussion. We just take the information. If it's good or bad, we move on from there. With friends, for me, I hold a little bit back because it depends on what type of friend you are. I got very close friends I share everything with. But then you have like a person you call a friend, but you really don't hang around them. You stay on the surface level.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for this episode of the Toxic Mentality Podcast.
Make sure you shout us out. Make sure you click the link on Buzzsprout. Make sure you hit us up about any questions that you may have, even any thoughts that you may have about the growing of our podcast.
Right. If you want to listen to it, it's going to be available on Apple, Spotify, Google, anywhere you get your podcast, you can listen to it.
Oh, we're going to be on Apple?
Oh, baby.
Oh, I'm an Apple girl. Okay.
Oh, yeah, on that note.
That's a friendly reminder, guys. Don't be basic.
Be you.
You are now listening